Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the On Time, On Target Morning Brief, where we invest in fighter pilot precision on a daily basis. It is Friday. The futures are on the green, excuse me. The S&P 500 hit new highs yesterday. What is not to love about this market? Yes, inflation's out there. Yes, tax increases are out there, but you know what? Nobody cares right now. The economy is exploding back open, and the markets are going higher, and I don't really expect that to change anytime soon. So, from an overall strategy, people had a couple texts this morning, this morning saying, "Hey, is now a good time to put money in the market?" And I said, yes, there are opportunities still out there that are very exciting. However, you also have to mitigate that with that now is time to load up on a few hedges. If you want to hedge your portfolio, if your portfolio is smaller, you probably don't need to hedge it. But if you are either a large portfolio or you really don't like the big swings that you may end up seeing in a downturn, you can put some hedges on, and I can talk about those on a more of a next week or so when they come up, or not next week, but down the road, we'll talk more about hedges. Today, we're going to talk about AMC, and I hate to continue to give the crypto and the meme stocks all airtime, but it really is kind of a fascinating story to really hear what's going on here. And I came across I'm on Twitter now. I've been on Twitter for about a year. I highly recommend it. It's actually, there's an educational piece, kind of like TikTok. It's mostly entertainment and stuff, but there is an educational piece to it and things you can actually learn. And depending on who you follow, there's some pretty insightful stuff out there. But I came across some of this AMC. It's literally a cult. It is about the best way I can describe it. I'm reading stuff like, Biba the Shooketh, that's her fancy Twitter name. It's a female picture anyway, so I assume it's a she, but it says, "Repeat after me. We are apes. We are a family. We rise and lift each other up. I will hodl for you because you hodl for me. Hashtag AMC 100K is the floor." Like what? In theory, it just smacks of the Occupy Wall Street, right? Remember when everybody was sleeping out in the road out in front of the exchanges? It's like, okay, good for you, I guess, if that's how you want to spend your time. But the "I will hodl for you and hodl for me," that's that's like cult 101. Let's all sleep in the same direction and repeat mantras all day long, and all the other negative things that tend to come out of cults. It's kind of interesting. And so in theory, right, and we all know the difference between theory and reality. The entire universe of academia is built on theory, and then you take those practices, take them out in the real world, and some don't hold, right? But in theory, if there's enough people out there that don't sell, the stock price goes higher. That's assuming people still want to buy. But if you're hodling, so hold on for dear life, right? Or I heard the origin of that was actually a typo, that it wasn't an acronym and became an acronym over time. So a little bit of, interesting history there. But I guess that's true. But to think that a stock, AMC is going to go to 100,000 is kind of, I don't know, cultish, right? There's no like real way that's going to happen. Now I say that and it'll happen, but in theory, yeah, if everybody continues buying the heck out of one stock for no reason other than to buy it and to, take it, give it to the authorities and defeat the hedge funds and the shorts that are out there. I guess that works. So here's another one. I'd love to. I didn't take the time to download the picture so I could show it to you, but it's basically an ape at a zoo. The big majestic ape-looking figure sitting there talking to what appears to be people at a zoo looking at it, and it says hashtag not leaving, and it says OG apes explaining to baby apes how to stay the course. Right. So I don't know. It kind of cracks me up. If you're participating in that, good for you. It's largely a sideshow, I think. But then again, it can make some interesting trading opportunities. When you look at AMC, it was down 13% yesterday, bouncing up 4% today. Could you take that long as a trader? I think so. I would rather take GameStop, right? Still in play as far as a meme stock, down 27% yesterday, bouncing up 6%. So that would be a long. You could probably build an entire trading program around this if you're interested. I am not. I'll stick with ours. But it is kind of interesting as far as what's going on there. Another term that they're throwing around is financial treason. So when we talk about what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about AMC. We are not leaving. That sort of thing. And Then we're, the other thing we're going to talk about for our question of the day is what is a naked short? And these are, it's really illegal, right? To do a naked short, has been since 2008, but evidently this crowd thinks that it's still going on. And I don't know how you would do it. So we'll talk about what it is. I'm on the inside, right? I'm in the industry. I have no idea how I would actually execute a naked short if I wanted to, which I don't because it's illegal. But even even if I did, it's like I don't know how to even do it. But we'll talk about what it is and the implications of that. So that's what we have for your show today. Make sure you check the subscription and notification bell. Also, if you want to join us in the room, there's a chat room. I see some stuff in the chat. I'll get to that here in a second. And you can join us for $25 a month. Pretty good way to spend your morning and learn some stuff. With that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, welcome back everyone to, make sure I get my screens correct here, which I don't think they are. So thank you for your patience. All right, here we are on the correct screen for Friday, June 11th. All right, got Friday going on. Futures are in the green. Everybody likes that. All right, and make sure you have your Q&A window and your chat window set up correctly. Standard disclaimer applies. You have to, this is a financial education presentation. You have to do your own due diligence for acting upon anything you hear this morning. And full disclaimer information is available at ototnow.com. All right, mission objectives today: grow our money, protect our money, and live off our money. We're going to talk about, don't have this updated, we're going to talk about AMC stock and financial treason, right? What more could be more interesting than financial treason? So what is a naked short? Get this updated. All right. The ones we're going to take a look at today, as far as the different names, we'll take at AMC, we'll take a look at GME, we'll take a look at BlackBerry and any other meme stock that comes to mind out there. All right. When you look at AMC stock, am I going to try to talk you into buying this? No, but I do want you to know what's going on so you can watch it. If you know, I'm on TikTok as well. There are some priceless TikToks about how retail investors are buying a few hundred shares and then walking into AMC and telling the employees to keep up the good work and that they're proud of them. And we're kind of a big deal because we're part owners. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. I could waltz into the Apple store and probably give a similar speech and would be met with similar skepticism, right? Of the person working there probably doesn't really care that I have a share or two of Apple. It's not moving the needle, that's for sure. So, but they're kind of priceless entertainment. But as far as should you buy it? I don't know if you believe long term that movie theaters are back and they're going to branch out into other things. I think that's true. Kind of like GameStop. If you thought that GameStop was going to branch out into being a crypto exchange type of place, that's interesting. Kramer threw that out and said, yeah, if they do that, then it can justify their valuation. AMC, I don't know what you can do other than show movies, right? It's kind of their thing. Maybe I'm small-minded or short-sighted, but I don't see what the upside is there. All right, let's check out the chat real quick. We'll get back to Eli at Callaway Golf here in a second. Usually go to Regal instead of AMC. I don't know. I've seen these big AMC kind of metroplexes, and it's pretty nice. It's attractive. I still think movies are date night, because that's my frame of reference from a million years ago. But 30 years ago, dinner and a movie, I don't know if that's still a thing or whatever people do now, but kind of back in the day, it's like, okay, hey, let's either get a group of your friends or date night, something like that, go to the movies. Now we take the family on occasion. I don't know if they're going to be dumb enough to stream it right to my house. We'll sit in bed and watch it with our $1 popcorn instead of the $10 popcorn. But that's us, to each their own, right? I didn't know that some movie theaters are being used for church services. Well, it's kind of interesting that you're right. With a facility like that, you think like a football stadium or something, they repurpose that all the time. An NFL stadium literally hosts 8 home games a year. Right. So you need to find something else to do with this magnificent facility, i.e. like AT&T Stadium for the Cowboys, something to repurpose it to like all the time. Right. So that would make sense. that it'd be perfect for a church service, right? You need the facility. It's kind of a finite time thing where it's really kind of off of the regular movie schedule. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Yes, you do get free popcorn if you're an AMC shareholder. I don't know. I guess maybe you have to just show them your Robinhood app or your We Are Family app or I'm an Ape app or whatever it is you're buying your AMC through. But anyhow, I suppose you can get free popcorn, but that's $10 a pop right there. And then let's look at Eli as far as entering the mid cap. It's down. That's kind of interesting. So we'll break just to take a look at Eli. I like Callaway Golf. It is gapping down. You would think it'd be gapping up, but I don't know. We can take a look at it as it gets a little closer. Okay, standard flow for today: long, short, open, short, long. Market review, headline review. Again, the theme is markets hitting new highs. Markets that hit new highs tend to hit new highs for a while, right? So here's the investor psychology 101: is market hits new highs. Somebody sees that on the screen. My phone blows up and says, "It's now time to invest new money." And of course, I'm going to say yes, because there are always opportunities, which is a true statement. But, when you look, it's like, well, a better opportunity would have been months ago, right? But you can't go back in time. So again, a lot of people don't like to put new money into the market unless the market's hitting new highs. Okay, that's a very human behavioral psychology sort of thing, but it's kind of backward thinking, right? You want to dips or where you put the money in. But anyway, that's why I try to help folks get their heads around. All right, contingencies and academic resources are standard. Let's go ahead and take a look at CNB's or TDA Think Pipes. Excuse me. All right, so here we have our 4 panes, the S&P 500. Here's Eli. That is a nice gap down, but I don't know, low volume. Don't really know why that would gap down on that news. So we're going to get rid of it and go back to, what did I put in first here? Let's see, play, AEI, ATC was the third one. So across the board, we have ATC, AEI, and play. Those are all longs. We'll probably be going long today. We'll take a look, though, when the market opens here. All right, here's our new highs. So kind of a gradual creep up over the past, 2 to 3 weeks. So it's not really that, punch in the mouth kind of new highs. It's just a insidious highs, if you will, on decent volume. So really nothing out there to rock the boat, to be honest. Focusing in on the 5-day of the SPY, you can see it just creeping higher here. We're at that point we were at the market open yesterday, and then it sold off. So could we see that same pattern? Yes. Fridays just kind of tend to be up. Friday, everybody's happy. People are buying instead of selling out there. So, all right, let's take a look at the around the world here, as well as what's going on in the headlines. Refresh these for you. Yep, set to add to record as tech shares again. That's true. So barely in the green there, but Europe in the green across the board, pretty significant. Asia mixed, not too big a move. The 10-year's down below 1.5. So when you think of the whole, inflation specter, it kind of is going away, even though we just got a 5% print like 3 days ago. But anyhow, things to take a look at. Is really the 10-year is not supporting that there is an inflation fear out there. It really isn't. Oil above 70 and holding, gold and silver mixed, and then crypto did a little bit of a comeback from earlier this week. A couple of headlines I wanted to show you real quick. Elizabeth Holmes swag. I was a huge fan of her as the youngest female billionaire, self-made, I think is the asterisk there. Her Theranos is an amazing, was an amazing company. One drop of blood and you could tell everything you needed to know about somebody, other than the fact that it didn't work. And again, we talked about she and her hyperbole train basically oversold the promise, and she hoped that she could make it work while she was telling everybody that it already did work. Anyhow, obviously she's going on trial, probably looking at 20 plus years in prison. She got pregnant, so that delayed everything for about a year until she has her baby soon, and then August 31st is the trial. But anyhow, her swag, that's Elizabeth Holmes, if you don't remember, her swag is on fire, right? People are buying it up left and right. So kind of crazy. So there's your headline for the day. All right, let's switch over to the market open. We're getting ready to go long here. Fear of missing out, FOMO. Yep, I hear you. All right, let's set up for the market open. I'll be right back with you. Buying your swag with Dogecoin. I like it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the On Time On Target play of the day. Here we are at the market open. There's the bell. We are off on this Friday. Again, futures are in the red. So really looking at the longs here first. And we'll see. I'm not in love with any of these. It wasn't like yesterday where it was like, couldn't wait to trade. And again, we were in our trade for a whopping 3 minutes yesterday. But we have ATC long, which is on a buyout offer. It's Atotech, if you will. We have AEI, which is asset something blah blah blah. I couldn't. We talked it over this morning. I still can't figure out what they're doing. And then you have Play, which I really like best, which is Dave and Buster's. So let's focus on Dave and Buster's. It's an amazing place. It's up 5% off of earnings, so that's good. So we'll let it establish a low of the day down here at 46.20. So 46, we'll see if that holds. We'll go 46.15 as the low of the day. That puts us in at a 50-cent stop. Again, my math was terrible yesterday. You can call me out on that. 46.60 is what I want for the entry point. That is a 45-cent stop. Actually, that's off now that this continues lower. Market's going down, so okay. Got that which didn't work tends to work in our favor. 45.80, 46.30. That's our entry point. I'm not ready to take this yet. I'm just not. So I'm being patient. That'd be a 50-cent stop to cover the low of the day. All right, take it here at 46.30. I'm convinced that it had enough staying power there. I wasn't convinced at the beginning. 45.80 though, you got to be out if it hits 45.80 and it's down there teasing it. But that's the low of the day. This is a 50-cent stop. We are taking this long, and we need $1.50 out of it for our 3R. So 46.80, which it's almost that first R unit, and then 47.20, which is up here at the top of the screen. I'll try to back out and get that drawn in. 47.20 is our second R, and then our exit point is 47.80, which is up here, is our exit at the 3R point. All right, so we have everything drawn up. We're in the trade long for Play, and we are up. You can still grab it right here if you're interested again. So Play is Dave and Buster's. So you think Dave and Buster's, are they high margin? Yes. If you go into it, you think in date night again, except for now it's with video games or a group of you and your friends, whatever your thing is. But it's an arcade that you obviously sells food and alcohol at very high margin. Think like Applebee's type prices, if you will, marked up a little bit more on alcohol. So again, high margin, catering to kind of a higher demographic than a standard arcade that would be catered towards teens that are spending, $50. Dave and Buster's, you can burn through $100 before you even kind of get your food. That's really kind of their business model. But yeah, so we're in the trade here at this 46.30 point, and we will keep an eye on that. All right, I'm going to take off this ATC. We'll take a look at some other things. There's a lumber company out there. Lumber's on fire with inflation and things. So RFP is Resolute Forest Products. Okay, they are gapping up. They're doing a one-time special $1 special dividend that they just announced. This is low volume, so that's why I wasn't willing to hop in there and trade this. It's kind of interesting. Plus, of course, you have the lumber shortage. So anyhow, that's why they're going higher. Did not seem to be screaming higher here on RFP, but definitely headed higher. All right, you saw our trade get close to the lower exit point, but it held. So just make sure you have your stop in. If it hits it, it hits it. No big deal. All right, another short we had pulled up was CureVac. I know you know this name. It is a biotech name. Obviously, this would not have worked as a short because it backed up significantly. And no, I wouldn't take it here. Turn around and take it back short. Would not touch it if it doesn't fall off a cliff as a biotech. VRTX is another one that needs to fall off a cliff. If here you can see it gap down right at the end of yesterday from 217 to 185. It's kind of getting bought back up. So really not much to be able to do there for a trade. And then the last one was DBGI, which is Digital Brands Group, which I don't really know what that means or what they do. But when you look at this, it's a small stock, low and going lower, that sort of thing. So down 15%, couldn't really take this. That's a huge, 22, you're looking at that's like a 4R move just in the first minute of that thing flopping around. So it would have been hard to get in and out of that without getting stopped out to the downside. All right, back to our trade, and then I'll switch over to long-term stuff. We're still in this trade. We're kind of at the entry point. It's kind of boring. That's okay. These dojis are a good sign. That means it's trying to sell off and somebody keeps buying it. So we'll see if it holds. So that's where we are on the trade. We will check back on that. All right, what's going on in the real world long-term investing? Got CRISPR Therapeutics up, Empower, AMC, since we talked about that, up 2%, was up a little more earlier. And let's see some other big names: Roblox, BlackRock, Lowe's, Nvidia, Silver. Let's look at AMC since I actually talked about that earlier. So again, here's your AMC chart. It was up at 60, 3 days ago. It went all the way down to 39. So that's when it's math, but look at it. That's a 50% sell-off in 2.5 days. Is it going to bounce? Well, yeah, it did start to bounce from there. So from 40 up to there, that's a 10% move in less than 24 hours. Higher. So what's it going to do from here? I don't know. I think you're throwing darts still if you're getting in on this. I would honestly, if I had to take a bet on it, I would bet that it goes higher here, though. To kind of hate to say, but from this chart where it's set up bouncing off of 40, got the asymmetric upside, right? If this thing's really in play. But again, I would not take it as a day trade or a long-term trade. You'd be off in swing trading, meaning, buy it here, set a stop, set an exit point, maybe at 52, which is like a 2R. And then, let it hit one or the other, because it's going to, right? It's in play. All right, let's look at what's in the red today. Couple of small names: REAXD, TQLB, Clover Health is one. It's a meme stock, so I wouldn't worry about that. And I don't really see, there's Alibaba in the red, KWeb in the red. So we had the technology package passed yesterday, which is supposed to take it to China, right? So I don't really think there's going to be that big of an effect on China, or on Chinese investments, if you will. But I don't know, 250 billion or whatever the price tag was on it. Hopefully it helps something, but I don't know that it will have an effect. All right, let's switch back to our trade real quick. Take a look at that. Hey, there you go. What are we out of our trade? Boom, look at this. So perfect, recapping the trade, 47.80 and you're out. So boy, that was too bad I wasn't looking at it at the time. So to recap, entered to trade 46.30. We set our low below the low of the day, which was down here at 45.80. We had to be very patient right here, for we waited 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes until we looked away, and then no kidding, it shoots up to the 3R point. So 46.80, 47.30, 47.80 is our exit point. Nice 3R trade. All right, let's go back to Google Chrome and talk about some naked shorting. And get this moved down here, and Investopedia naked shorting. Yep, I was getting ready to ask Apex if you took that trade, because it's a pretty good one. All right, naked shorts, naked short selling, naked shorting, maybe that's what we'll put in here. Pulled this up on my other computer, but okay. So naked shorting. Here's what it is the illegal practice of short selling shares that have not been affirmatively determined to exist. Okay, I'm not sure I'm going to get past that sentence, right? Because I'm not, I mean, I know what all those words mean, but I don't really know what that means. So when I say I don't know how to do this if I wanted to, well, the custodian won't let me, right? I mean, I can't, I have to literally to sell something short. Yeah, less than 6 minutes. Nice. To sell something short, you have to borrow the stock from somebody and then sell it short. So when we take our day trades, that's why, especially with Burner, since he's still on a TD Ameritrade platform, and TDA doesn't trade quite, it's not as friendly to traders as Schwab is. They don't keep a big enough pool. So a lot of times where we can short through Schwab, or if you go through Interactive Brokers or TradeStation, Tasty Trade, any of these folks that kind of do professional shorting, if you will, or offer that to their clients. They have it. And if they don't have it, then they don't allow you to short it. It just says stock not available. And it gives you a warning sometimes up front, like, thinly traded or tough to short or something like that. So I don't know how these folks get around this. I suppose if you're big enough, or if you are the one holding the pool to loan out to others, you might be able to put a trade in on something you don't actually have. Obviously, that's like, playing with fire and juggling chainsaws if you're going to do something like that. So evidently it's still done. That's what the Wall Street Bets / AMC crowd is, fighting. They're in a, fight at the keyboard warriors fighting financial treason from their basements. It's like, all right, okay. Gives you something to do, I guess. But I don't know the impact that they will have, or the fact that they could stop this, but obviously they can drive prices higher in the short term. Certainly, if you get enough people together that are in Ape Nation to do this, then that's fantastic. And they're taking it to the hedge funds that are short. I think you got to be smart enough as a professional money manager to either dedicate somebody like on your team, like, okay, you've been anointed, you're going to follow the apes and pretend to be an ape and try to make, mirror their trade so you can make money, which is what trade desks are. You got to make money, otherwise you get fired. Figure out a way to make money off of this, but I don't think anybody's actually putting it into professional portfolios as a long-term theme, right? So it's almost a game, if you will, that's going on. All right. It says, due to various loopholes in the rules and discrepancies between paper and electronic trading system, naked shorting continues to happen. I do think it's kind of funny that Investopedia would go ahead and have a sentence that basically says people are violating the law, but with like no proof of that. I don't know. You'd think you'd throw some proof in there. And then they give the example. It says that, here's the regulations. It was illegal after 2008. And says example, but then you read the example and there's really not much to be able to say what actually what went on during this naked shorting. But anyhow, obviously it puts downside pressure on a stock. And obviously if you're shorting something that doesn't exist, you can short into it and out of it, scalp some money out and never have actually moved anything. So obviously that sounds like it would be illegal in any business, let alone in the financial business. So that's what I have on naked shorting. Again, it's illegal. Don't do it. If you're doing it, then you would think you would get caught in a heartbeat, right? Especially if the only people who could do it are the big institutions. So, all right, that's what I've got for you today. Let me check up the chat real quick. Thanks, Apex, for your commentary all day. Nice trade, made some money. Yeah, have it on their website. Hard to borrow. That's the exact term. And you're right. Then you can make a phone call if you need to. I've never done that either. Usually the particular trading we do, the window closes fast, minutes, right? So good luck squeezing off a phone call in the middle of trying to keep all the math straight in your head when you're trading. But yeah, hard to borrow is probably, Schwab has that too. If you pull up the chart, it gives you this hard to borrow. So that means they're below whatever level of pool of extra shares they have to loan out to you. It means not impossible to borrow, just don't, as you get excited about your trade, realize it may not fill, right? So, all right, that's all I have for you today. Great week trading, right? So we had some real nice trades yesterday and today. So great job, and we will enjoy your weekend, and we will see you back on Monday. Bye.